Hi guys, so I said in my last flower video, I think it was the little blue scrap fabric flower video, that I had one more little type of flower to show you. Then I'll get out of my flower making mode. These ones are just, they're quite similar as the rustic ones and the blue ones. So just they've got little, you know, scraps of wedding dress material, some tulle, could be some other random fabrics. I think it's mostly wedding dress material because I've got a fair bit I want to use up. The rustic flowers, the wedding dress material was coffee dyed. So these are just some small pieces that aren't coffee dyed. And I had a whole heap of these little thin strips from, well, they started out, you know, when you have a wedding dress or any piece of clothing, women's clothing, and it usually has that little bit up the top like a loop that you use to hang on the coat hanger. And so when I was cutting off the wedding dresses, I was chopping those off, and I had a lot of those, and I also had a lot of little thin strips of fabric like this from when I was cutting up some squares of material, and it could have been a folded over piece that had like a hem on the other side or something. And so when I'd cut it to size, there'd always be this little strip that snipped off. Anyway, so I thought I'll make some of those little loopy flowers. They're probably not what you'd normally see as the little loop flowers, but this is my version. So I've just cut little squares or random shapes. Sometimes they're little triangles just because that's the way the fabric is cut. Sometimes they're not perfect squares. It doesn't matter, just any little shapes. And I just stack them. Got some little loops, and I've been using clear and white buttons because I've got so many on. I want to get rid of them. Some of them have a yellowy tinge like this, which I quite like because it stands out in the center, makes it look a bit more flowerish. Anyway, so let me give you a little peep at them. I think they're like super cute. You can make them as thick and fluffy as you want. Some I've made quite flat, some are fluffy. Just depends how and where you want to use them. If you want to use them on a journal page, just make them really flat, like this one is quite flat. Oops. The little squares as well, I mean, you can cut them as circles if you prefer. I just like the look of little layered squares. I don't know why. This one's cute. He's quite flat as well, and they're really light as well, so they're not going to weigh your journal pages down. We can stick them, they don't have to be journals. Use them in whatever little crafty projects. Now these are my scrappy versions, okay? So, I mean, you can make them as pretty or as scrappy as you like, up to you. I'm just going to show you my little scrappy version. Okay, so let me pop all these little guys aside. Now, I'm not prepared as usual, but I'll chop things as I go. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of little stringy bits in a little container here. I've got some tulle. I haven't cut it down yet. It's just a great big piece. And this is the soft meshy one. I actually prefer the rigid hard one. It's got bigger circles as well. It's a lot thicker for the flowers, but use whatever you've got. You don't even have to use wedding dress material. I'm just using that because I want to use some up, because look, I can't even fit this bag under. Let me show you. These are itty bitty scraps. but I've got a whole tub of wedding dress material, like big pieces. So I've been putting the, big pieces in my wedding dress mystery packs that I have in my Etsy shop. But these are the itty bitty little odd pods that, you know, what do you do with them? See, I've got a lot of these long stringy bits. But yeah, teeny tiny little bits. What else are you going to do with them? Sorry, that's probably really loud on camera, isn't it? Anyway, so I've got some of this beautiful satin wedding dress material. So soft. And I've also got some of the lining. So this is what goes under the satin. And some tulle. There's also some little, you know, applique bits like this that were too damaged or too scruffy or, you know, raggedy to put in my mystery packs. So I've just been using those for flowers as well. Anyway, so I'm actually just going to make, I made a few for a project that I'm working on, but I'm also going to just make 2 packs of these to stick in my Etsy, because I'm not sure if anyone would like them. I mean, I think they're really gorgeous and cute, but I know I have a really junky style and I'm not sure that others like my junky style. So yeah, I might just make 2 little packs in my Etsy shop. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, I'm using this string as well. You'll need a needle that has a big enough eye for the string to go through, but is narrow enough to push through buttons, which is kind of hard to find. Well, I don't have many needles. I mean, I must admit, I use this needle for everything. I don't have a lot of needles, and it's quite blunt now. Like, I can't even hurt myself with it. It's quite blunt. But depending what string you use, you might want to use something that's waxed or thinner, because this string, it's quite hard to push through the material. And at first you find it easy, but after making so many, like, your fingertips are numb. So sometimes I might just, oh no, I've lost them on my desk. Okay, sometimes I might just pull the needle through with some pliers or something like that. Okay, let's get started. So usually I don't have such a big piece. I'm using little itty bitty pieces. So I'm just going to chop some random sizes up. Yeah, usually I've got little pieces already set to go. Oops, I don't want to lose my needle. My desk is such a mess at the moment. Oh my gosh, if you could see what is around this area. I've got this like little square that I'm kind of working off. And I don't measure, I just chop, chop, chop. Just make them, you can do little circles, okay, if you want. I have done some circles, but I suppose that'll be that's a different flower. So I'm just going to show you my little ones with the little squarey versions. And yeah, normally I don't cut up big pieces like this, but I don't want to pull out a bunch of little random bits and show you. Sorry, this is going to be so boring showing you chopping. Okay, I'll just do a few. Yeah, and sometimes, like, I've got pieces that are, you know, they're like this, because when you cut up wedding dresses, you have to go around the little appliques, and, you know, so sometimes you've got these weird little odd pod shapes, but it doesn't matter. Just any old shape will do. And I know some of you probably cringing out there, what is she doing to this beautiful satin wedding dress material? Okay, but don't worry, I'm not usually chopping up big nice pieces like this. It's all the damaged and crappy pieces. And then I just do the same with some tulle. Yeah, I don't like the pieces pre-cut. Sometimes I like to just cut them as I go as well, because depending on the size of the little bottom layer fabric, you might want a bigger piece of tulle, if you know what I mean. This stuff is this lining fabric. It's a bit hard to coffee dye. You really need to soak it, because it's kind of like plasticky. It's like a raincoat. It's almost waterproof. Okay. Sorry if that's so loud. And you're really close up as well, which is probably a bit annoying, but I've only got two levels to put my camera on, and that's lower shelf level, which you're on now, and upper shelf level, which is the one you usually see, but that one I have to stand up, and I don't want to stand up. Okay, I've also got my button box. So I've been using, actually you can see that I've made quite a few. These three were quite full, and in fact these brown ones I've just topped up, because I've got a biscuit tin full of brown buttons. I've just topped it up to you know, fill my little compartment. But yeah, I was really wanting to get rid of these, but when I started making the flowers, what I found is my needle doesn't fit through a lot of them, and yeah, I really need to buy some needles. I don't have various sizes. I know that sounds stupid since I'm always sewing stuff, but anyway. Yeah, somehow I always just manage to survive with like bare necessities. Okay, let me get started. How are we going for time? My camera cuts off at like 25 minutes. Sorry if this is going to be too long for some, but you can go find a shorter video. Okay, that sounds really bad. Anyway, let me go. So I usually start off with a bigger piece, and then I just chuck them on. Bigger, I just go bigger to smaller. And I've been kind of rotating these so that they're off center. Yeah, see, I didn't cut enough tulle. Oh my gosh, everyone keeps asking for like craft with me videos and stuff, but after this it'll be, yeah, don't show us, just tell us how you do it. Sorry, I should have chopped these up prepared, hey? Doesn't matter, you can skip ahead. I actually prefer longer videos because I like to put YouTube on while I'm crafting, and so I don't mind them. Actually, you know who I really love listening to while I work? And I don't just listen, I do watch as well. I really like Rebecca from Dances with Pitbulls. She's so funny, oh my gosh, that chick. She is like hilarious. I was watching her this morning, and she was doing her dinosaur book and her bird books, and yeah, she absolutely cracks me up. And I find I can listen to her and just look up every now and then as she works, because she has longer videos. The other one is I like Jessica Rapp, but she does a lot of live streams, and sometimes they're at hours that, you know, the time difference. She's in America, so it's a bit hard to watch. Her live stream, she's crazy. She goes like for hours and hours, and so I tend to try, I don't watch the live streams while I craft because I find it hard to read all the comments and participate if I'm busy with my own hands. And also Ginny from Brave Blue Raven Crafts. Wait, did I get the name right? It's something like that. I'll put the links to everyone's videos down below that I mention anyway, to their channels. Ginny, I always go back and watch her older videos as well, because she's really creative. She's a bit like Wendy Mason, does a bit of everything. And I just like the sound of her working. Sorry, Ginny, I know I'm probably like a stalker. Whenever you log on, you see like I've watched 100 of your videos in one day. It's pretty stalkerish, hey? And Junie, JD, she's got some craft with me videos at the moment where she's just working away but not talking. And I can't watch those at night because the sound of someone working in the background seriously puts me to sleep. Like, I love the sound of shuffling papers and, you know, shuffling papers and scissors cutting paper and stuff like that. Anyway, so I just do a couple of little layers like that, so don't think about it too much. And then I get my little stringies. Some of the wedding dress material, it's hard to make these flowers with because I don't know how they're sewn, but when you put your needle in, you can just pretty much pull it apart. You know, it's a bit crazy. Anyway, so these I just, oh no, I'm going to be like all thumbs showing you this. Okay, I just do loopy loops back and forwards. So this is probably so boring for you. Yeah, I like watching people craft just because it's kind of like company. I think crafting is the loneliest hobby in the world because you lock yourself away in your little room and yeah, you don't interact with anyone. I keep joking to hubby that I'm going to see, oh, this is what I'm talking about. See this? It just, you can just break it apart. I don't know how the fabric is put together, but see, it's just, it's like fluff. So some of the strips you can't do that with. And look, I've got weird little pieces like this. I don't know what that little piece on the dress was, but it's really thick, so I'm just gonna shove it in the middle there. Actually, he might be done. And then I just get a button. Yeah, I've been joking to hubby that I'm going to move the dining table out of the dining room and move my crafty stuff, my crafty table down there. That's a bit small for that flower, isn't it? Uh-oh, I think I'm running out of big buttons. You'll do. Yeah, because the dining room is right next to the lounge room and I can see the TV and him from there. See, I can't pull through any more needles. I've done way too many. Oh no, this one's too big. I won't edit this out because this is actually what I go through. Like, this button is too small for this needle. It doesn't look too small. Okay, this will be so funny if I can't actually find a button that fits, hey? And I was in the pool this morning, so I had block out on my hands, sunblock, and so they're so slippery. my gosh, why can't I get this through? I'm recording. Please don't say anything embarrassing. That's Darren outside of my door. He likes to say embarrassing things. Yeah, I don't think it's the button's too small. I think this string is just too hard to pull through. I need some of that waxed linen thread. Okay. Mind you, I don't normally have that much trouble. Of course, as soon as the camera comes on. Usually I can whip these up really fast. Like super fast. Yeah, I feel like just even if I do craft in front of the TV with someone sitting there watching TV, it's not so lonely. Even though you're still doing your own thing. Oops. Okay, see? They just come out so cute every time, don't they? Well, I think they do. I don't know if everyone shares my love of scrappy stuff. Okay, let me make another one. And hopefully this one won't be so hard to get through. Yeah, I'm actually a bit behind in your videos, JD, because the past few have been craft with me ones, and I was watching at night. Yeah, and you put me to sleep not because you're boring, just because I love the sounds. Your scissors are awesome. I really want your scissors. The sound of them snipping is like so delicious. I think she said they were her dog grooming scissors. Sorry, I've got my big fat man hands in the way half the time. I need to do a video today to show people how to sew ruffles, and I don't know how I'm going to, I don't know how I'll do that with my big fat hands in the way. You know, you have to get under the sewing machine. Okay, I'm going to make this one a little bit thinner. Let me try this button again. Oh, I forgot my loopy loops. Uh-oh, my camera's gonna cut off. How is it 25 minutes already? I don't know how people do tutorials and actually get it done in like 10 minutes. I'm so slow. Actually, I'm quite a quick worker, but it's not so quick for some reason when I show you. I think because I keep trying to look at my camera to make sure I'm like not off screen, and so I don't know. Oops, sorry, had to restart my camera. Oops, now I've pulled that off. I don't remember what I was saying now. Yeah, it's New Year's Day here in Australia today. Actually, I'll probably upload this video today. And it's absolutely so hot outside. We've had like these 40-degree days lately. It's so hot. It's even like too hot to go in the pool. I know that sounds dumb, but the pool is in full sun until late afternoon, and the water has been like bath water. It's so warm. We went in at 10 o'clock at night the other night. It was still so warm. Okay, this one I've made quite fluffy. Oh no, that means I'm going to have trouble pulling the buttons through. Sometimes I just push it through like that. Oops. The worst thing is when I'm like going really fast and then I pull the thread all the way through. And the 4 button holes, I just, the buttons with the 4 holes, oh my gosh, I don't even bother doing all 4 holes, I just do 2 of them. Sorry, I have to do that off camera because I need to hold the pliers close to me to pull it through. Oh, I should have washed my hands when the camera stopped. They're so greasy from the sunblock. Anyway, I might just do one more, but you get the idea. They're so easy, like so easy. And I think, look, they just turn out so cute every time. And I mean, you can, with the good thing with the little handmade flowers is if you just do one thing slightly different, you've got a completely new flower. Like if you were to instead of doing little square pieces like I do, if you did little circles, they'd be a completely different flower. Look how delicious they look, just all piled in there like that. I just love piles of stuff. Yeah, usually when I make stuff for my Etsy store, I always do like 10 packs or 20 packs or something, just because once I get started, I kind of can't stop. But these, yeah, I'm a bit over flower making at the moment. Although I do need to do another tutorial, just not tutorial, I don't know if you call it tutorial, just a little craft along with me type video like this. Just another one on the little rustic flowers because a girl, I might have mentioned it in my other video, in the blue flower video. A girl emailed me that she has been trying to make them and she said hers don't turn out as pretty as mine, and I think in my little, oh, I forgetting to put some tulle on. I think in my little video where I showed how to make them, I might have only made 2 or 3. But yeah, she asked if I could show some more just about placement, but as you can see, I don't think a lot about placement. I think the more random the better. Sometimes I might, if there's something like this bit jutting out is kind of annoying me. See this bit? And I think I'll actually snip him. But I do try not to do that. Oh, actually, I think now, see, I shouldn't have snipped him that much. Yeah, I try not to fuss with it too much, otherwise they'll take too long. I like little quick easy projects. So sometimes I don't like, I know this annoys people when I say it because someone will always comment and say, rah rah, don't say that. But I don't feel like I'm a proper crafter. This is a bit of cotton, this one. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm a proper crafter because I don't know that I enjoy making things as much as I do recycling things. Like, I just like to, you know, I don't think, oh, I really want to make some flowers. I just really think, oh, I really want to use up these little scraps of fabric. So I suppose I'm kind of working in reverse. I never think I want to go and make this item. You know, it's kind of backwards. Here's that fabric, but look. Maybe if it's just cutting against the grain or with the grain that it does that. But yeah, you can just pull it apart. Yeah, I always sort of work backwards. I always have the item that I want to use, and then I think, what can I do with this? I don't think I want to make this. Now I'm going to go and pull out the materials to make it. Does that make sense? This guy's a bit too fat, isn't he? This top ribbon. Yeah, see, I don't like him. I'm going to snip him and make him thinner. Sometimes you can't rip them thin because they're too thin, like that. That's why I really love the upcycle challenge that I do with Wendy Mason. You know, because then she's got a piece of trash and then she has to think, now what can I make with this? Which I think is more fun, and I also think it makes you be more creative. Look at this button. It's one of those, I think they call a mother of pearl. And I know Jeanette from Scrap and Happy loves the mother of pearl. Is it Scrap and Happy XOXO? I'll put the link down below. You all know Jeanette, I think. She loves these mother of pearl buttons, and so every time I find one now, I chuck it aside to send her, because I find so many of those little guys. Look at this. This is a kind of black one. That's the back of it. It kind of, I don't know, for some reason I feel like this is being handmade, but I don't know. I might be dreaming. But look at this. It's a black one. Oops, see, now I'm finding them everywhere. Yeah, I keep, whenever I do something, I'm always like, oh, I should put that aside for such and such person and save that for such and such person. Oh, I can't find any buttons with big holes. I might have to skip over to my yellow. No, that's too yellow, isn't it? Ooh, I kind of want to use him, but I want to keep them all white. This guy's, that looks too little though, doesn't it? Okay, he's going on. No, he's too little. I'll save him for a little flower. The next one I'll make will be little. Yes, I'm always saving stuff for people, and it means in my crafty room I've got this, like, seriously, I should show you, but it's too embarrassing. It's such a mess. I've got this pile of envelopes lined up against one wall, big envelopes with people's names on them, of stuff that I keep saving for people to send in happy mails. And then it means that, like, I never send the happy mail because I just keep adding stuff to it and it sits there forever, and then eventually I send it. It just means that if I'm sending you a happy mail, it may take a while. I really need to get some better thread. This one is getting too hard for me to pull through. And I think I was saying something before and then I got sidetracked by a button. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, I think I was talking about the upcycle challenge with Wendy. Look, see? Doesn't he turn out really super cute? Wait, is it focused? Yeah. Look how cute he is. I just love them. And I don't finish my backs. I'm not good like Wendy. I just remember years ago, well, a few years ago, I remember hearing Shannon Greaves say, you got to finish the backs. It's not finished until the back is finished. And every time I leave a back unfinished like this, I always think, oh no, Shannon won't like that. But yeah, I just kind of don't see, I don't see the point, because you're going to stick it down and you won't see the back. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see the point. Okay, should I make one more? I think you get the idea. I'll make one more. If you're like tired of listening to me drone on or seeing me make them, you can just scoot out. Oh no, I don't have a big piece of satin left, do I? Oh wait, I want to make a little itty bitty one, so I can use that itty bitty button. See, I didn't even care, like, see how this has got a bit of, I don't know, hem or something, that's where the hem was stitched. Doesn't matter, chuck it on. Oh, I might have to cut these littler. Yeah, I think using like unconventional materials as well, it kind of challenges you. Like, I know you probably all know I'm quite anti scrapbook paper and digital kits and stuff. Well, actually, I'm not anti digital kits. I like digital kits to preserve items, or you know, if you've got old papers that you just can't bring yourself to use the original. You know, I've got some old wartime letters that it's a whole collection from the same, to and from the same people, and yeah, I don't have the heart to split it. I just can't. So those I want to scan and put in my Etsy shop. And I feel like those sort of things are a piece of history. They're irreplaceable. We can't, you know, once it's gone, it's gone. So, you know, I'm all for scanning stuff like that, and I'm all for scanning people's artwork. You know, if you create a piece of artwork, want to share it with someone, yeah. I'm just not a fan of the digital kits where, I don't know, I'm going to offend a lot of people saying this, but oh well. I'm just not, I suppose I'm just not a fan. Why was I looking for a button? This was the one I planned to use. Oh no, he's still too little, isn't he? I don't like him. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of the digital kits where somebody takes an old image out of the public domain and then, I don't know, adds butterflies or roses and stuff to it and makes pretty papers, because I think, why are we creating more pretty papers when there's just so many out there? Like, op shops throw books away all the time. There's so many beautiful images in books that you could use and save those instead of making new papers, I suppose. I don't know. I suppose it's personal preference. Some people, maybe they can't get out to op shops and buy books, so maybe it's easier for them to use digital kits. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just not a fan. And I don't know, I just feel like when you use unconventional items or you have to create from scratch, it just challenges your creativity a bit more. Like what I'm sending Wendy this month for January, this is her month 9 challenge. I've actually just packed it up this morning to send off. I'll send it tomorrow because today's a public holiday here in Australia, New Year's Day. It's an item that you use in your house all the time, and I think to pick that up and think, what can I do with it? You have to kind of get creative. And I prefer that challenge over just buying some pretty scrapbook papers and sewing them together to make a pretty journal, if you know what I mean. Like, I really like the journals where people have made the pages pretty themselves. It's not just a scrapbook paper that already looks awesome, because I find that that's too easy. I think you know, the painty papers, people who paint their papers, or they collage, or they see, I'm not very good at collaging or painting, and that's why my journals are a bit bare, I suppose. Plus, I think for me, I like people to decorate their own journals, so I kind of leave them a little bit unembellished. But I really love those journals that you know, people make their pages look pretty themselves. They've taken scraps and they've had to put them together to make pretty journals. I think it's really easy to make a journal look pretty if you use just scrapbook papers. I know there's 100 people out there right now cursing me for ragging on scrapbook paper, but that's okay. I've said it all along. Oh, I've been forgetting my jewel. I got a bit excited. I want to make another little baby. I suppose scrapbook papers are okay when people do something with them. I just don't like seeing them a whole bunch bound together, and I don't know, I guess I'm just a recycler who only likes recycled stuff. Yeah, each to their own, I suppose. I do think the journals with scrapbook papers are nice for things like, I don't know, if you use them for weddings or guest books or stuff like that. And I suppose if you give a journal with all junky pages as a gift, some people don't know what it's for or how to use it, but I think a junk journal should be made of junk, I suppose. And I think scrapbookers maybe took over the junk journal world a bit too much. Actually, I don't know why the journals with scrapbook papers aren't just called handmade journals, because they're not really junk, are they? Uh-oh. Please don't leave me mean messages just for giving my opinion. I know there's some real staunch digital kit and scrapbook paper defenders out there. And that's okay. I guess that's why we're all different. See, these little bits, I'm going to stick these little guys onto just to get rid of them. Like, if you see Rebecca from Dances with Pitbulls, she's oh my gosh, she's so funny. But her pages, yeah, she puts together some awesome pages using you know, images from magazines and books and all sorts of places. This was the other little guy. I don't know if I showed you. Look, I forgot to put his loops on. Duh. You're probably sitting there saying, don't sew that button on. Oh my gosh. Okay, he'll be the little black sheep of the family. Anyway, you get the idea. Really super easy. I think anyone can make these, and you can make them out of any material, any colour you want. Oh, if you've got spare ribbons, actually you could use ribbons or yarn. Anyway, that's it. I better end my video. It's gonna cut off again, and okay, that's it. If you've got any questions, yeah, leave them below. And I'll put a button on this guy. Okay, actually, oh, I've got, it's 21 minutes. I can still get another button on in time. Oh, he's cute with this little button. I don't think he'll fit though. His hole's very small. Yeah. I think the eye, oops. Eye was a bit small. Yeah, I mostly think it's not the thickness, it's the string. This string is like really hard to pull through. But I like the look of the string over regular cotton. Okay, I pulled my needle off, but that's okay because this one, the thread's small now. Okay. And that's it. So they're my little flowers. I'm sure that people have made these type before. Actually, when you upload your video to YouTube, then you see a whole bunch of recommendations, and then that's when you find, oh, people have done something quite similar or the same. Like I said, there's not a lot that's new these days. But I think these ones turn out really cute. Like, look at them all together. So gorgeous. So give them a try. Nice and easy, super duper easy. Use whatever you've got. These are without the loops. This is the one I forgot to put the loops on. But still cute. I'll still use him. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, and thank you so much if you stuck through the whole time. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.